This is a super interesting brand new automation game. This is node math. The objective is fairly simple. Roll with me for a second here, folks. The objective is to try and produce this number. Now, in this specific instance, it's not overly complicated. We only have access to 1 and a plus and a little sort of relay node. Anyway, all we need to necessarily do is, thank you very much, is connect up 1 over to here, and boom, look at that. We adjust our little flow rate there. We need to get a certain flow rate, a certain number in order to succeed and in order to pass on to the next level. You can also see, thank you very much, you can also see that there is a little sort of dollar counter here. So each and every time we are supplying we're supplying this big old building here with a 1, then we get a little bit of money for it, which is nice. Now, at the present moment, we can only produce a certain number of 1s. However, what I really want to do is do something like this. So, what we are doing here... There we go. Look at that. We are managing to chain all of these 1s together. Now, we're not actually transforming the 1s. That's the crucial thing, right? So we've got this transformer right over here. And if I was to, for example, add a little 1 here, a little 1 here, and then output to this little node, as you can see in just a second, boom, that will transform it into a 2. So there's a couple of different things that we can do. We can also level up to level 2. Absolutely interested in doing that. So that is going to increase our R rate. This is how much money we get per, thank you, this is how much money we get per item that is coming in, which is pretty darn important. The objective has now been set as 2. Okay, let's have a little look at what we want to do with this. So let's get rid of you. Let's add here. Now, if we do this, what is that going to add to? I think that's going to, yeah, see, look, this is interesting. Because it's all coming from one single direction, it doesn't treat all of these different numbers as 2. So let's do, which is the copy tool. I mean, we could just do this one. This is the brand new ability to do that. That's cool. And then we add all of this, and then that will hopefully make a whole bunch of 2s, which is kind of exactly what we are after. That is looking great. And is that going to be enough to get us what we're after? Also, by the way, note that we are getting $4 for each and every 2 that is coming into our building over here. That's nice. Okay, let's push to 3. It's gonna be fairly simple. Yeah, I know we can do Control V, and honestly, that is probably what I'm gonna do. Let's just cancel that. Let's get this here. Let's get this here, and let's get this here. And then let's see if we can try and do a sort of nice little creation process, something like that, something like that, something like that, something like that, and then up here, up here, up here, up here. That is a whole bunch of 3s. What do you know? That's looking pretty darn decent, if I do indeed say so myself. Now, if we need a little bit more, all we need to do, very simple, copy, paste job, and you know what, actually, if I'm sensible, I could turn that right the way around and then just output directly into there. Now, you can see that each and every one of these nodes only spawns on a certain sort of like little countdown. That's fine. We don't really need to worry about that too much at the moment. We're pretty happy with that. Okay, 5 is the next objective. How are we gonna get a 5? Well, to be honest, we probably need to start being a little bit more spatially aware. Now, we will unlock some more space in a bit, but for now, we do not have a huge amount of space to play around with. So let's do this to here. That'll make 4, and that'll actually make 5. Yeah, that's perfect. And then we can just cut that entire section. I love how responsive the entire game feels. It's really, really, really quick to just sort of add a huge number of different modifiers, a whole bunch of different nodes. It is very, very satisfying indeed. We can unlock this second area. We need a little bit more progress. We need to be at level 10. We're at level 4 out of 15 here. But we can get this all unlocked. Ooh, these are different currencies. Ooh, okay, so that's $10 we need. That's 10 euros by the looks of things. Yen, pounds. Okay. Let's push to the next level. Ooh, Okay, so this is kind of interesting. We have unlocked the ability to unlock more buildings. Plus, we have a objective to try and supply 8s and 5s at the same time. We have... thank you for the tutorial bits. I don't really need it. We can also spend some of our hard-earned cash in order to unlock some different operations. This is the multiplication operation. Oh, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff as well. Now, this is the current amount of money that I've got, so we're plenty wealthy, which is good. This will allow me to access some brand new areas, and I think we're going to take up here. Yeah, I think that's a great deal, to be honest. Also, the number 2, I'd love to get access to. I mean, if we do 2 times 2, let's sort of zone this out, right? If we do 2 times 2, if we do 2 times 2 times 2, I mean, that will make 2 times 2 times 2, there we go. That will make 8. Can I just absolutely confirm that? There we go. That is looking excellent. So, I mean, if I put you rotate around here, and then if I do, I think it's this tool here, and we do this. No, that's what we need to do. That's much better. Good. It is this tool, but I need to use it properly. That will give us what we need. There we go. Look at that. That looks great. That looks absolutely fantastic. Now we need way more 8s. So let's see if we can try and do this, and then this, and then feed that in, feed that in. This is looking so darn good. This is looking so darned good. So the thing that I love about this game, it's just come out. It's just fantastic. There's so many different ways of solving any of these problems, right? I mean, we've managed to solve this with 2 times 2 times 2, but we could equally do, 1 plus 1 times 2, or, 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 times 2. There's a whole bunch of different ways. Or we could do 2 plus 2. This doesn't even need to be a multiplication, right? This could be plus. It doesn't necessarily need to be multiply. That's pretty darn nice. Right, let's push to the next level. Looking at milestones, right? I don't know. Can I stop you from popping out? You really want to... You really want to pop out, don't you? Well, whatever. Yeah, thank you. Looking at milestones, we can get the number 3 for 73,000. We've only got 23,000 at the moment. Let's push to the next level. So that means we no longer need 5s. That's fine. Let's ditch you. We can always sort of reconstitute that fairly easily. What the heck is this? I'm not sure what this is. Oh. Okay, it's like a Scrabble board. Interesting. What? What the heck is this? Okay, we'll experiment with that in a little bit. I have no idea what that is. I've also no idea what this is. Fine. For now, 8s. 8s, 8s, 8s. Is there a better way that we can approach the 8s right now? No. But I could do with more space. I could really do with a lot more space. I think... Let's just try and get... Let's try and get the number of 8s that we require. I'm actually regretting going for this super funky route. So what? We get the 1. That doesn't have to be 1. Whatever it takes, it'll turn the number. So if we take a 2 here, for example. So it'll take 2 plus 2... Fine. It'll transform it in this thing. I don't know what this thing is. I guess it's just a sort of bigger node. And then it'll times it by 4. And then it'll output it over here. Okay. I mean, there's not... I mean, that is... Coincidentally, that is actually 16. That is nice. But, I mean, there's not... There's not really... I mean, maybe there is... Maybe there's a way that we can do this. Let's do this. Let's see. Let's see if this works. So we'll go into there. So how does that work? That actually looks not too bad. Okay, so we kind of got ourselves... We kind of got ourselves a little life hack over here. Nice. Well, I'm still going to save up for my my spatial... No, my spatial expansion. And I tell you what, good time for it as well. Because we can get ourselves a whole bunch of additional numbers here. There we go. Yep. And yep, that's looking real nice. So feed that in there, feed that in there. I love this tool. This tool is great. It's fantastic. Okay, that gives us a whole bunch of 16s. That gives us a whole bunch of 16s for pretty much no effort whatsoever. Yeah, that's really quite impressive, to be honest. Okay, so there's a lot of value in this little process here. Obviously, I realize we've not done the 3 times multiplication, which could be pretty darn useful in the future. We've also got the additions. Okay, that's fine. Let's upgrade. Let's see what we've got. So 16s. Oh, yeah, thank you. So 16s, we've got 22s. 2022. I mean, oh, yeah, we can get some more stuff here. I don't know what the value of this is. I don't know what the value of getting this upgrade is. Can we not? I don't think we can get, like, a relay between these two places. Yeah, between these two walls. I think this is definitely... Well, then again, we're doing it over there. Yeah, I'm not sure how this works. I'm not sure what the value of these are. Okay. Well, whatever the case. Right, so what do we need to get? We need to get 22. So 22 is 16 plus 6, which is... There's maybe a value in getting the 3 there. We've got 22 is 11 times 2. I don't think it can be divided by anything else, can it? I don't think so. At least we're getting a good amount of 16, so we'll keep them coming in. 11, of course, is a prime number, which is a real pain in the backside. So yeah, I don't think there's a better option, unfortunately. We'll unlock the 3 so that we've got access to a 3. Here's the thing, right? This looks very, very complicated. It's actually, honestly, I feel like this little tutorial thing doesn't really explain it very well. But if we improve A here, that gives us a multiplier. Yeah, there we go. So the dollar $R, so the amount that we get per number that we submit will increase by 1. So there we go. We will increase our revenue per second. So this is the dollar per number, I guess, that comes through. This is the dollar per second that we're getting, which is basically the number of numbers that we have coming in times this number is this number. And this is our total cash. I hope that's an easy way of explaining it. Yeah, I do understand that it is a little bit... The tutorial elements are quite busy. Anyway, let's talk 16s. I mean, I do feel like half of the 16s, I mean... 16, I mean, is there a better way of doing 16? I mean, to be fair on the 16s are actually quite easy for us to produce now, because all we need to do is, I mean, this produces 8s, so we just ditch all these, right? We ditch all these, we go here, we go into here, there. That allows us to multiply this. That goes into there, and then we do a multiplication by 2, and that gets us 16. So that's a sort of foolproof way to make 16. And what I'm thinking that we try and do is that we try and do a bit of manipulation over here in order to try and get... I can't drag through there. In order to try and get some addition going. So we'll do 3... We'll do 3s here. We'll do a plus here. And then take this down. Take this down. Take this down. And ditch that there. Do a plus right here. This feels very, very sketchy, but we're going to make it happen nonetheless. And that will give us 22. We're going to link that up to the existing setup. And then obviously, we're going to just actually, tell you what, I'm going to use this tool. That's not the right bit of kit. But look at that. That's perfect. That's not perfect at all. Control X, Control V, resubmit that. We can do the auto connection, which will just do that. Very nice. Okay, so that is not quite balanced, but we are getting 22s in here. Make sense? Yeah, because we're getting 6 plus whatever we've got coming in here. Great. Okay, let's do another 3 in there. Link that up. Then we want to get lots more of these. That's fine. When we cross over, We cannot cross over. That is annoying. But honestly, not necessarily the end of the world, because to be fair, I probably should have just moved it back a little while ago. Right. Great, 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 great. And then out here, down here, in there, and in there. Cool. So, I don't know if it's balanced yet, but it's going to be darned close, I feel. And does that get us the right number of 22s? If it doesn't immediately get us the right number of 22s, we can address this. I think we've got... I mean, it looks roughly balanced, to be honest, but hey-ho. Right, let's sort out 16s now. 16s are very simple. I don't think there's a simpler way of doing 16s than the current way that we've got them. So, let's do it. Might need some more space. I mean, I will need some more space in general, but for now, let's just roll... Let's roll with that. Cool. Pretty chuffed. I mean, 2 plus 2... 2 times 3 would be 6. Yeah, 6 times 4. We can't do any negative yet. So that's fine. Sure, let's get this, and let's do this over here. Plus 50,000. A plus B is equal to 13. Sure. I'm not going crazy, am I? Yeah, A plus B is equal to 18, yeah. A plus B is equal to 37. That's this one. A plus B is equal to 38. That's this one. 47. That is you. And we get 50k for that. Oh, well, sweet, I guess. And then we just have a cooldown on it. Okay, that's cool. Maybe wouldn't have put it right there, but I suppose that's a little bit out of the way, so we can kind of play around with that. Right. What I'm really waiting for was this, though, because I would love some additional space. Now, I think the best place for more land purchase, is up here, because this is going to allow us to get... There we go. This down. Looking good. And yoink that in there. So that'll definitely get us the 16s that we need, he says, with a degree of confidence that is, yep, warranted, as it turns out. Okay, so 22s. Let's do one more of these. We can squeeze that in right there. Perfection. And is that going to be enough 6s? If it's not enough 6s, the great thing is that we can just chain together some more 2s with this brush. Which is fantastic. I love it. And thankfully, I've left just enough space to do all of this, and then it'll all just go on these gloriously long belts that I have created. You know what? I think that might be enough. I think that might be enough to get us the number that we're after. It's looking so darn good. Okay, let's increase our A number. There we go. As you can see, dollars per second is increasing. How's this looking? Yeah, what I will say is that I don't think 20 per second. Oh, look, you can hover up and get some stats. So you can see that we're only getting 9 point whatever it is, 6s per second. So that's really interesting. Means that we need to get way more 6s in order to, well, we can level it up, but in order to match, all we need to do is hover over the operator. That is so cool. That is so cool. There's some really great sort of like fundamental factory building elements in this. I really like it. Right, let's get to the next level and see what we've got. Oh my giddy aunt. This is hecka mega confusing. Right. So, space is 1 point something million. That's a lot of space. Oh, can I turn this off? I can't turn this off. Oh, amazing. Amazing, amazing. Beautiful. Right. What do I want to get? 30? How are we going to get 30? I mean, that's got to be 3 times 10, right? 10's not necessarily an easy number for us to get. Could be 6 times 5. 6 times 5 would be 3 plus 3 times 2 plus 3. Alternatively, is there a way that we can do this over here? I mean, that's A times 3. So if we got 10, times it by 3, then that would work. That's not a bad idea. I mean, either way, we kind of need to start from scratch on all of this stuff. 5 times 5 is 25. I think that's the easiest. I think that's the easiest route that we can do. I don't want to overuse this area too much because it does kind of break my brain a little bit. But here's what I'm thinking for 25, right? So we do 5 times... We do 5. There we go. Let's work with a little bit more space here. Right, we do plus, multiply out. That's quite a small footprint, which is honestly kind of half the battle. Yeah, we don't need you to go to 2 places. We just need you to go to 1 place, and then in there, out there. Let's just double check that that is 25. There we go. It is, in fact, 25. And so, theoretically, all we need to do is... Oops. We do this. Nope. What the heck? That was... Where'd my 2s go? I made a boo-boo. It's fine. In there. And then here. To be fair, I mean, there's so many different ways of, like, copying and pasting in this game. I do love the sort of, like, freedom and flexibility that you get. So cool. Really cool. We can do this a couple of times, and it all sort of, like, auto-links up because we've got this toggled on. That's really good. We do copy. We do cut. We do paste. Put it there. Copy, paste. And... Yep, it's good enough. And link all of these up fairly easily. And that goes there. Perfect. There we go. And there we go. Right, so we'll see. Is that going to be enough? I suspect not, but we've obviously got loads more space here, so we can figure this out. It's time to rework. It's time to rework this little maze thing, which I think is really cool. I really like this. This was... I mean, I played the demo of this game, but this is not something that was in the demo. The fact that you could unlock these little mazes. I like that a lot. So, I mean, how can we do... I guess this is like a node that allows us to transfer across the... Yeah, okay. That's a node that allows us to transfer across the tiles that previously were not allowed. Let's get more of these. Yep. And a nice little, like, big old superhighway. There we go. And there we go. Very nice. So if that doesn't get us the 25s, I would be surprised. Should be positive, so that's fine. Right, over here, we have got 30. So 30 times 3 is 10 plus 5. I think 10 plus 5, to be honest, is... I think 10 plus 5 is fine. So we do 3 plus 2... Yeah. I think that's... I mean, to be fair, this is a plus 2 modifier anyway. So... no, but once it's in the... Once it's in here, it becomes a little bit more complicated. Yeah, let's stick with this. Okay, so 3 plus 2 times 2, that's 10. And we're going to come out this way. Going to come down here. In there. And you know what? We can actually just go straight out. Like, we don't need to stick around here. There we go. Okay, and then that gives us 30. And that is what we are after. And this, I think, is... I think the footprint for this is small enough that we can... probably replicate this fairly consistently. There we go. I think there's probably a more efficient way of going about doing that, but it's okay. Right. Up here. Here. That's good. Into there. Into... Can we insert into here? Perfect. And insert into there. How is that? It's good. Oh, we can't see the stats. Interestingly, we can't see the stats for this. Why not? Is it because... Oh, it's because I've got the help button disabled. Okay, that's annoying. So in order for me to see the numbers that I've got going in, we need to have this enabled. That's a bit of a kicker. Personally, not a fan, but it's all right. Okay, let's do this in here. We're also gonna just cut and paste this entire thing back a little bit so we got a little bit more space to play around with. I love how easily you can do all this. This is great. I'm in heaven. This is fantastic. Right. That goes in there. That goes in there. In there. Anywhere. Fine. Nice. I do like how you're constantly, like, forced to, you know, reevaluate your factory. It's nice. Also, I'm realizing now that I could have just... Well, I could have just times these all by 3, but it would have added an extra row, whereas this is kind of better, because I think this modifier right here, I mean, it doesn't require any inputs in order to do the multiplication. It just does it by 3. So that is quite nice. But as long as you got the space, I guess you can kind of do whatever the heck you want. Now, I could rapidly and drastically increase my coinage for this. That is maybe something that I want to do. Yeah, right. Let's do that. 35. 35. I mean, that's plus 2. 44. I'm kind of thinking that maybe we could do something with this infrastructure here. Yeah. 44 is 11 times 4. So that is... And 11 is 3 times 3 plus 2. Which is good. Okay, you know what? Let's not actually do that. Let's work out what we're going to do first. So, we're going to do 3 times 3 plus 2. So that will give me 11. And then 11, we can kind of expect to filter down this. To be fair, if we don't even need this, we can get rid of that and then just feed that into this here, which might be good. Let's trash this. Let's trash this. This has been good whilst this lasted, but like, you know, it's time to replace this with something more useful. Right. So this goes in here. We go plus 2. Then we go over to here. Times 4. We go up and around. That's what we're after, okay? 44. Perfect. Let's paint this. That's not what I wanted. That's also not what I wanted, video game. That's fine, though. Good enough. Right. In. That's pretty decent. That's pretty decent, so we should do all the multiplication there. Great. That gives us 44. Cool. So, 35? I mean, what do we got coming in here? 25? 25. I mean, the problem is it's not divisible by 2 or 3 or 4 even. I am happy with this, though. And you know what? Honestly, I kind of want to crank the numbers up for this before we do anything else. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. We do not want to feed in the numbers to anything else. There we go. Nice, 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 and nice. Okay, so that's gonna give me some good. It's gonna give me some good numbers. What have we got coming in here? About 8 per second, 9 per second, 10 per second, 11 per second. That's a lot. That's a lot of value. That's a lot of value, and we absolutely are meeting that threshold, which is great. Okay. 35, however. 35. I mean, it's 7. It's 7 times 5. 7 is 4 plus 3. I don't have 4. I feel like whatever solution that I come up with here, it's going to end up being fairly inefficient. The good news is, though, we're almost to level 15, so we've almost got the opportunity... In fact, we're almost to level 10. We've almost got the opportunity to unlock this second one. That's kind of cool. Very interested in that. I mean, the biggest number that we can get from 2 numbers at the moment is 3 times 3, which is 9. We can't use any of these. We could use times by 3, but that doesn't really matter, because 35 is divisible by 3. I mean, let's walk through it. 2 plus 3 is 5. 2 times 2 is equal to 4. Plus 3 is equal to 7. multiply these together. It feels so big, though. That's the problem. That is 35, but I mean, it's... I don't think there's a better way of doing this. I really don't. Maybe there is, and maybe I just can't see it. But I mean, that is certainly a big number. Certainly a big number to be making from lots of little numbers. Relatively speaking, of course. It's not that big a number. Okay, there. And there. I think we'll still be able to get across the line with it, though, so... Let's see. Nice. And nice. Okay, so... +7. And the drain rate is -9.8. So we are in positive territory, which means that we are eventually going to pump in enough numbers. Okay, well, that's pretty good. That's not too shabby. We do need to think about a new sort of spatial expansion. Seems very important if we're going to be unlocking this new bad boy over here in a second. We've also got our little, I don't know, quiz tile coming off cooldown in just a sec, which is kind of nice. This is just totally flipping useless. Until I unlock the ability to get this node here, this is just dead weight, to be honest. I suppose there's maybe something I could do at the sides, but not really. Yeah, let's immediately go to level 10. Fantastic. That's nice. That's very, very nice. So, I don't think I want to do anything different here. I think I just want to continue to pump as many sort of like numbers into here as we possibly can. Obviously, 45, 52, etc. That will be challenging. Ooh, interesting. Okay, so this uses euros, right? This area uses euros. That's why we need to get level 10 in the euros in order to level it up. 72, 52, 53. What do I care about? What do I care about? Do I care about 4? I think I do care about 4. Is 52 divisible by 4? 26. 26 is... No, it's not. I don't think so, anyway. Right. I mean, we're not making any money at the moment, which is very, very problematic. We're getting 35. Sure. Okay. I'll take the 4. Against my better judgment, we'll take the 4. We need to basically... We need to rework this in order to... Well, in order to have enough money, really, to... In order to have enough money to expand, which is really what's critical, because we just cannot do that with this limited amount of space that we've got going on at the moment. And we're currently making no money because none of the numbers are set. Ooh, we get 1,000 euros. If we... That would get us enough for the -1. Which is maybe something that we want to investigate. H is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. E's 1, 2, 3. There's 3 E's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. J's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Great. Cool. And yoink this, which is excellent. So we could do plus -1, which is not the operator that I would, like to use. We could, we'd ideally have access to -1, but that would allow me to take 46 and do some transformation with that, or 43, or what, whatever it is. Anyway, 52. 52. This is a real test of my sort of times tables at the moment. I mean, 4 times 4 would be 16. 16 times 4 is 54? 64? 64. 45 is kind of easy, because that is 3 times 3, which is 9, times 5, which is, I guess, 4 plus 1, which I'm just going to use because it's kind of cool. Right, and then multiply 9 times 5. That gives me 45. So, yeah, good. Let's do it. Let's do this. 3 here. Here. That's just so totally wrong. 4. Nice. And 1. Okay. So that's at least going to start me on the process of getting a little bit of money, which is great. Let's do this here, this here, this here. Nice and nice. So yeah, what I need is that big juicy. Don't have enough space. What I need is that big juicy world expansion. Yep. I think that's gonna leave us enough space to make this happen. Gonna be tight. We can make it. We can make it work. Cool, cool, cool. All right. So is that gonna be enough? I think it should be 45. There we go. It's looking positive now, which is great. We're starting to bring in a decent chunk of cheddar each and every moment, which is very, very cool. Yeah, quite a large footprint to make this all work, but you know what? It is working, and that is what matters. Right, 52. I mean, 52. Flippin' heck. I need to think about this one. I mean, is it maybe 52? Is it maybe 13 times 4? Is that really what we want to do? I mean, all we need to do is 9. Yeah, actually, hold on. There is a world here. There is a world here. So if we do 3 times 3, right? If we do 3 times 3, that gets us 9. Then we go here. That gets us 11. Then we go over here. That gets us 12. Then we go over here. That gets us 13. And then we go in here. And that gets us what we need. And that way... Heck yeah, look at that. That is actually... That is really efficient because we end up only utilizing a very, very small number of exterior shapes. And of course, the real sort of generation cap comes from... there we go. We can just get this in here. This in here. Just come here. There. There. What? No. That's not what I want to do. In there. In there. Yeah. That's what we need. So that is balanced because we need to only have 2 inputs into here. Yeah. Okay. So that gets us 52. And stats wise, what do we got coming in here? 8, 9 per second? 8 per second, basically. Okay. Let's do a duplication of this. Is that good enough? You know what? Do that there. And then we can just add this in here. And add this in here. Feed that in. And would you look at that? Okay, so this is actually been like a really, really useful little maze thing. That is super, super cool. And most importantly, that is going to get us a heck of a lot of income. This, however, is just total dead weight. Total dead weight. I mean, yeah. Literally, what is the point? What is the point of doing anything if we can't? Actually, I could feed into that node. Ooh. It's not perfect, but it could work. It could work. Okay, I think we're gonna make this sort of tactical decision to just leave this on this level for now. There's a couple of upgrades that we want to get. The most important is this one right here, because we need to have... let's take this one up here. We need to have proximity to this in order to start generating. Even if we just start generating some euros, that'd be pretty darn useful. Minus 52. Minus 52 is actually not a super challenging transformation if we've already got the 52s coming in here. You know what? Let's work with that. So here's what I'm thinking. We've got all of these. That's a mess, but it's fine. We got all of these in here. Yeah. Maybe this wouldn't work. Although... I mean, there is a... We can't... The problem is... To be fair, we don't need to use this node here. So this node... This node could be sort of diverted to go and do that, right? And then that would leave that node spare. We connect up all these. Yep. And we do copy, paste, rotate around, paste in there. And then we don't send it round. We go up to here. So that actually allows us to cross all the way over. That is so darn sick. Right. Well, I mean, that's a whole bunch of threes that we literally just have, you know, that we're just sort of pumping out. But it does also mean that this node can't be used for anything else. I mean, I could just feed it into here, but then it becomes unbalanced. I mean, I guess we'll do that for now. The problem, yeah, as I say, the problem is threes now become unbalanced. Okay, it's a proof of concept. It's a proof of concept. That's kind of what we're after. What I really was wanting to play around with, as we're saving up for probably the next sort of area milestone, what I want to play around with is splitting off a portion of the 52s from up here, taking them all the way up here. There we go. Because I do think this is a very efficient way of making 52, relatively speaking. You know, sort of, we only require, you know, 2 columns of 3s, basically. That's pretty darn good. And then what we need to do is we need to times this by -1. And we're going to be using -1, obviously, for the first time here, which is pretty flippin' cool, if you ask me. Here we go. And then that will get us -52, which will start the process of generating even just a few euros. That's fine. So, as you can see, our current throughput rate of 52s is at 8 point something. -1s is at only 2 per second. So we kind of need to do better than that. There we go. There we go. That's horrific, actually. There we go. How's that looking? That's probably looking a little bit better. And close to matching. And that's really what we want it to be. We want it to be matching. It doesn't necessarily need to be right up at this ratio quite yet. We just need to start the process of making a little bit of money. Cool and cool. Okay, that's good. We've now got more -1s coming in than we do have 52s, which is perfect. Obviously, that has hurt us in this area over here. I think we will do this in order to try and get a little bit of extra income coming through. That's really what we're after. Can also probably start fixing this setup right here. You know what? Let's just... Actually, this is a perfect way to fix it. We just split the 3s. We split the 3s perfectly. So that now they both come through at both sides. And that should eventually even out here. And give us the exact number that we're after. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. There we go. As you can see, it's perfectly matched. Beautiful. Amazing. So this area is not entirely useless. I guess it was cheaper. Was it cheaper than buying a sort of straight land expansion? This is kind of cool. This is kind of cool. Okay, we'll investigate what that is. Yeah, -52's actually working. 45 still holding steady. Pretty darn happy with that. Do I want to increase... I want to spend some euros on increasing some cash income. Yeah, let's do it. It's actually quite a large increase for us, which is very nice. Turn the tooltips off there. So yeah, I think we need a land expansion. I think that is, without a shadow of a doubt, required. I can get this and this. That's going to increase my cash per second, and the upfront cost is not super large. The real question is, what do we want to do, though? What do we want to do? Also, I'm thinking maybe we don't even need this multiplication here, because we could just do... This is... Okay, actually, hold on. I've had a genius idea. This would be next level. So we come in here, we come out here, and then we go in here. Oh my giddy aunt. So, see what that does? That, I mean, absolutely supercharges the amount of 52s that we can get, because now we have all of these individual 3s count as the individual 3s. That is so darn useful. That has got to be, I mean, that has got to be way more 52s. I mean, I don't even know how many we've got coming through here now, but it's got to be a lot. 47.5 per second. And we're using every single number and node in this little setup here. That is so cool. That is so darn cool. And look at that. It is also giving us the negative 52s at a really, really, really good rate. We're able to supply both of these areas completely. Okay. The next numbers that we would be trying to mash together would be 72, which we actually need for euros as well. 55 and 44. I think we'll take a land expansion first. I'm thinking over here maybe. I want to save this area for... Yeah, I want to save this area for the regular type of land expansion, so that we get, you know, good proximity bonus. That's quite nice. What do we got? A random? Let's do a random over here. Oh, it's like a little game thing, and that gives me some cash as well. Okay, well that's fine. We can do it. I mean, I'm not exactly over the moon about doing it. I don't love doing these things, but it's all right. We can do it occasionally. It's fine. Yep, that 51. Perfect. Well, 300k has never been got so easily. Another random thing. Let's do it over here. Another opportunity for 300k. I mean, fine, I guess. That can't be done, though. That's not right. A times B, they're two different numbers. But this is 3, that's 4, that's 6, and this is 1. That's incorrect, I feel. Algebraically. 7 sevens, 49. 7 sevens again. Again, I feel like that can't be right. 10 times 10? Has to be 10 times 10. Okay, well, weird. Weird. What do I know about mathematics, though, and algebra? Let me tell you, not very much. Oh, this isn't... Oh, this is... Oh. Well, 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 well. Times 6, times 5, and an over-under node connector. Ooh, that's so good. That's so good. Can I maybe do 72? Can I figure out 72 over here? This is where I'm going to use a calculator because I'm such a coward. 72 divided by 6. That's 12. So if we can get 12 into here, that'd be good. So that'd be 8. Yeah, if we can get 8 into here. 8 into here. We can do the addition. Oops. Fine. So, I mean, that would be 4 times 2. I mean, we'd still need to do... Still need to do that. That's fine. Whatever. We'll just experiment for now. So we do something like this. So we do 4 times 2 is 8. That's 12. 72. Great. And then we would only be limited by the spawn rate of the 4 and the 2, which I think is pretty darn good. I don't think there's really anything better that we can do. And then, I tell you what, if we do this very carefully, we can actually get the nodes in and out here without messing things up too much. And then we can still save this for later. Actually, can I do... I cannot do that far. Okay, that's not allowed. Worth considering. But, yeah. That's fine. That is fine. Right, I think it's maybe time that we look at upgrading. Almost certainly we do. Let's do it. Okay. So, this immediately gets trashed. We don't need this anymore. This immediately gets trashed. Great. This immediately gets trashed. That's fine. Then we need to rework this area over here. So, yep. That's not what I want to do. I want to move you to here, there, and then... Which tool do I need? I feel like I need one of these tools. Whatever. We'll just do the tried and tested brush method with a little AI next to it. Don't think there's much AI going on, but what do I know? Right. Cool. So then let's move this over to here. We'll have it all coming through one multiplication system. That's good. And then we'll do the exact same. So what is that? 5, 6 rows. Good, 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 and good. Got room for a little bit more. So that's quite chunky, to be fair. Let's get that connected up. This is not connected here. Why is this disconnected? Well, now it's reconnected. Happy days. And I can't really see because there's so many flipping numbers here, but there we go. There's no real need for any 52s to be going into here. We can all just bang them straight into this negative 52 area, for which we should be able to do very, very big numbers. In fact, we need way more negative ones, actually, because now we've got almost 50 52s coming in. That's quite the number. Okay, so 72s, we're almost there. I think we will get there because we do have that positive flow rate. 3.2 million. I don't think I want 3.2 million, to be honest with you. I don't think I'm that bothered. Now, we do still have plus 3 times 5. I mean, 11 times 5. I think that's what we're after, right? I think that's exactly what we're after. I think... Yeah, I mean, 11 times 5 would be this. Plus 3. So 4 plus 4. I tell you what. That works. I think we've got an option here. Okay, bear with me, folks. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do this, and we're gonna do it over here as well. Nice and juicy space-wise. So, hold on. You need to be disconnected there, actually. Sorry. So then we need to do a plus over here. So we're going to do... There we go. So that's going to give us 8. We're going to take this over to here. We can't cross over, remember, but that's okay. What we can do is go straight to this node. Then we can go out to this node. And then we can come down, because that gives us 11. 11 times 5 is what we're after. And then we just join the same queue on the way out. Because we're not doing any transformations on this leg of the journey. That's actually pretty darn sick, I think. So that gets us 72. I think it'll get us enough for 55. Don't quote me on that. I just have a feeling. If it doesn't get us enough, it will be close. I'm pretty happy with the way that looks, though. Sure. 3 times 1 is equal to 3. 4 times 5 is equal to 20. 7 times 7 is equal to 49. 7 8s are 56. 111? Yes? No? That's, it was 121. It was something. Oh, well. That was embarrassing. Okay, so 55 looks like we're not quite getting the required numbers that we need, but that's okay because we can always just sort of move this over a little bit. I still can't believe this is actually worked. It's pretty cool. Yeah, this is this evenly balanced at the moment? It's not evenly balanced. What do we got? 5 rows coming in versus 6 rows? Okay, so there's actually a case for just a brand new row anyway. There we go. That will probably be enough, I would imagine. I love this system. I really like these sort of like little little challenges here. Okay, so that's the 5 multiplier. That's really good. That means that we don't necessarily have to feed everything into here. But it's, you know, it's fine. -2 we can unlock. I'm not really that bothered, to be honest. I think I would rather just take... I'd rather take income, because I'm not really overly concerned about making money here. That's good. That's finally a positive flow rate. So we are going to get money from that. The real question is, what do we want to spend cash on? Do I want to continue to save for a little bit more space? I do just need sort of like straight up plain space. Yeah. Also, thinking about it, right? 44 is 11 times 4. 44 is 11 times 4. Is that helpful? Not really. Would it be helpful if I got 5? Right, got enough cash to do a little bit more land purchase. I think we're going to take this area. This area is good because we can do, you know, entry into here, entry into here. It's not really that sort of explicit. I'm just wondering, what do we want to push for? Because, I mean... Oh, 72, yeah. With 72 we can split. I forgot about that. Yeah, I mean, I think we probably push for 44 and get that across the line first. I mean, if we're going to do that, then we're going to cut this here. We're going to paste this here. And we're going to... There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay, so we're going to free up a little bit of space. A little bit of space up here to make 44, for which I really still have not decided. I feel like, I mean, the ability to use these multiplication things are so flippin' powerful. Really, really powerful. Right, I mean, I don't think my solution is particularly sexy. I don't think it really works that well, to be honest. I think it's fine. No, not there. Yeah, I think it's okay. I don't... So why do you want to connect over there, buddy? Maybe move this over just a little bit. There we go. Yeah, I don't think this is a great solution, to be brutally honest with you. I think it's fine. Do we have the space to get the numbers in, though? That's going to be the real question. And I'm honestly not sure. I mean, we need a rate of 12.2 per second. It's going to be quite hard to hit. 5. Would that really make this any easier? 5 plus... No, because I mean, we're basically making 8 plus 3, 11 times 4. Not amazing. Not amazing at all, but I mean, it does get the job done. And there is a... To be fair, there is a... cancel this. There we go. There is a world in which I'm not... yeah, super flippant about the use of space. So we do that. Is that right? 72, yeah, perfect. So then this goes here, and then that goes over to there. Yep. So that's fine. If we do that, then we can basically copy this entire block and put it down over here if we're lucky. There we go. That's pretty much perfect, to be honest with you. Okay, so we reconnect all the bits and bobs, and we'll see if this flow rate is high enough to sustain the 44, which is what we're after. If it's not, then we honestly could probably get rid of some of these 3s, which I've just got in absolute abundance right now. And that would be 4 lines of 3s that we need to get rid of. And then copy-paste this. Yeah, I mean, I just don't have a better solution. I just don't have a better solution for the 44s, I'm afraid. That's the problem. I just do not have a better solution. The good thing is, I suppose, we don't need any of these 3s. In fact, none of these 3s are actually really necessary for this here. Yeah, 3.6 million. I mean, I don't really care about the sort of little puzzle thing, to be honest. I mean, it's nice that we're able to get 300 and, you know, whatever it is, dollars. 6 times 6, 6 times 7. Yep. 81 is 9 times 9. That is 11 times 10, which is the one that I got wrong before. Or close to the one that I got wrong before. 2 times 1 is 2. 3 times 5 is 15. 7 times 5 is 35. 9 times 9 is 81. It's 90. Great. I mean, that's the better part of $1 million for not doing very much. Yeah, I think we're gonna cut this all out, actually. Don't need it. Do not need it. That is gonna go into here, actually. Yeah. Can we not do that? That an illegal maneuver? Well, we can do that, which is fine. That'll still get us some 3s, and hopefully that'll keep the negative 52s, that is, coming out. And then that will allow us to get... Yep. Another... At least 2. Nice. Okay, then we just need to bring this very carefully up the side. Perfect, and into there. Right, that will 100% get me the flow rate that I need. If it doesn't, I would be very, very surprised. That's perfect. Absolutely brilliant. Really happy with that. And we're still able to maintain the rate of negative 52s by quite a healthy margin, actually. So that's quite nice. So we're just continuing to make money, which is good. 38 million is just too much, I think. Too much to ask for. Do I want... Yeah, I kind of want to get 5s. I also kind of want to get massive increase to the B value, the multiplication value. 121, 81, 57. I mean, we've got a times 6 here. We've got a times 5 as well. 5 times 6 is 30. So there's that. There's that big number there. Also, yeah, I do want to take the 5s. I would like to get this number, this B value, sorted before we upgrade, which I definitely do want to do. I also maybe feel like we should make some progress in the Euro department, because I have not really done very much of that. 100,000 euros in order to get a special upgrade. Ooh, okay, so there's a little bit more space over there in that one. You can kind of see. It's kind of cool. I like it. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. I don't really care about this. Don't really care about that at all. I'll take this. Yep, so that's going to make me a heck of a lot more money now. So that's really nice. Yeah, maybe we should focus on... Maybe we should focus on this. Maybe we should focus on this. 57. 57. I mean, we've got 55, right? We've got 55 coming in. I mean, we could take the 55 and just add 2. We could add the 2 here, actually. That is an option. Because I do like using these if I can do it. You know what? Fine. You know what? Just take it. And let's not sweat the small stuff about the fact that we're going to make absolutely no money here now. Let's just accept that that is, you know, reality, and let's just rework this entire area. Cool. Let's not focus. Let's not focus on dollars for now. Let's focus on euros. 72 I had, didn't I? I flippin' had 72. Gosh darn it. Right. Which bit is 72? It's this bit. Disconnect that. Yeah, so now that is just 72. Cool, so we keep this. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. Nice. Get rid of this. Keep the connector. Right, and then we want to deliver... I want to deliver this basically to... We want to basically deliver this right across here. Move that. And funnel that in there. So that will get us to 72, which is quite nice. Is it going to be a rate of 72s that is acceptable? I guess we'll find out momentarily. I think it should be. And then we can focus on minus 53. Well, here's the thing, actually, about 53. All we're doing is multiplying. And then all we really need to do is we could split the output of this Yeah, let's do this. Let's split the output of this. We're going to take it up to the top just because we've got loads of space up here. So minus 52, and then we're going to do plus minus 1. Yep, and then that should give us what we're after. That is minus 53 indeed. Fantastic. So, oops. There we go. Nice, and nice. Nice. So I think that should be all that we need. We'll check out the flow rate as we go. That's minus 54 now. We've not done that one correctly. That has to go across to there. Great. So what's the flow rate now? Should match out. Should come up to just about even. The great thing is, all we need to do is copy... Oops. Copy and paste this over here. We need to feed that into there. And that, honestly... There we go. Feed that into there. Feed that into there. That should bump up the number of 52s, or negative 52s that we've got, and the number of negative 53s as well. It's not looking super positive at the moment, but I think we can do it. 72s we're fine for, so that's good. You know what? I kind of just want to paint more threes. Oops. Yeah, just paint more threes. What the heck? We got all this space down here. We might as well actually do something with it. There we go. And there we go. Cool. So, we just feed this all in. We just feed this all into some big, giant, sort of 3 chain. And in fact, we could make this even more efficient in terms of 3s. Fine. It's actually the opposite way that I want to do it. I want to do this way. Nope. Excuse me, 3. There we go. That's better. Nice. And then we just feed up here. And then we feed all the way around. Great. That is a unbelievable situation, but it is one that works. Cool. All right, so now we're almost certainly limited by the number of 1s that we have, or negative 1s that we have. Let's do this. And feed into there. I don't know why. I mean, we could just reverse everything. I don't particularly care to do that. But that will almost certainly fix our problems. How are you doing? A few more negative 1s required here. Yeah, I feel like there's also probably a way that we just say, hey, you know, maybe there's a way that we do something with the negative 2, but I mean, I don't think it's really that pressing. Not at all. Still need more negative 1s by the looks of things. That's a bit annoying. That is positive, though. It is slightly positive. I mean, we're not far off. We're not far off solving both negative 53 and negative 52. Is there a world in which I fix this a little bit? Yeah, maybe that. Yep. And something like that. And a little connection across here. See if that makes any difference at all. I mean, it will increase the number of 1s that we have by an ever so slight amount. Of course, there is more that I can do. There is definitely more space. You know, it's a bit janky, but I guess it'll work. There we go. And there we go. Some very, very long, weird trains that are just existing now, but it's kind of cool. Yeah, I am absolutely flipping going to take this, because this is going to be so darn useful. I think over here, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of space to just build in this area regardless, so kind of a nice thing to do. We are eventually going to hit our quota of 53s and 52s. It's just a matter of time, quite honestly. At least I think it is, although that is very close. We should maybe duplicate this. Yep. So I think there is a... Yeah, there is an issue with -1s coming in through here, but that should be changed now, and there we go, that's perfect. Nice. So this is still not exactly the right number of -1s that it needs to be in order to do the multiplication, but it's okay. It's okay. So, what the heck is that? This looks like it increases my... Wait, this gives me pounds? I'm not sure what this does. Maybe we have 2 opportunities to do it? I'm not sure. Right. Okay, so we've got a nice opportunity for a complete rework, basically. Yep. Yep, let's just trash all this, trash all this. Trash all this as well, fine. I mean, I want to be starting fresh here. I mean, nothing is making any money right now anyway, so who cares? So, what have we got? We've got 1, 2, 1, which I think we can make. Ideally, we should be making by doing... If we connect this up, does that... That doesn't actually generate any numbers of its own. It just does the addition. So if we can get 3 times 3, I mean, our 9... We basically need to do 9 times 9. 9 times 9... Or, no, sorry. For this one, we need to do 9 times 9 for this. So that would be 3... So we could do it like this, where we do multiply, and then multiply the difference. So that would give us 81, which is quite easy. That's all right. 121 is 5 plus 5. Yeah, I think that's the best way of doing it. 5 plus 5, which is 10. And then we need to times it by 11. And 11 we could get from... Tell you what, we could get it from 4. 4 plus 4 plus 3 is 11. Yeah. Yeah, is that the best that we've got? And then that would allow us to do 57 down here. I mean, we need to get 121 across both. So for me, doing 121 up here is an absolute no-brainer. Oh, let's do the quick little challenge. 25, 31, 45, 47. 500k. It's not bad. Yeah. So doing the 121 calculations up here would be ideal. But that is 11. That is 11. That does get us 11 in a relatively simple way. And then we then just do, you know, we then just transform it here with that. And then output to here. Well, and here, I suppose. You know what? Let's put you... Oh, that's allowed? Feels like it shouldn't be allowed. Let's rotate you, put you in there. Yeah, so we keep it kind of separate. That's... What am I doing? That's wrong. It's 11 times 11. Yeah, it's 11 times 11 that I'm trying to get done here. I think so, anyway. Yeah, that's better. That's much better. I don't like this. I don't like this at all, to be honest with you. I don't think there's a better way of doing it, though. I mean, we could do 3 times 3 plus 2, but I mean, still, fundamentally, it's 3 numbers. Doesn't matter if we do 5 plus 5 plus 1. You know, 6 plus 5. 6 plus 5 would absolutely be 2 numbers to get 11, but that's okay. 3 times 3 plus 2. I guess we could do it down here, maybe. And that would be with slightly less because we're using these operators. What about the operators down here? -1 times -3. This is really interesting, but not really what I need. Okay, you know what? Let's roll with it. Let's get this all set up. Let's see what the numbers are that we actually need in order to make this entire area work. Yep. Fine. Connect. Good. And we need to do 2 of those. 1 of those. Connect up. Okay, and that's a pretty good... It's a pretty good block. Yeah, and then we just copy this. This. This needs to, by the way, go up and around, so we need to make sure that we split it, because we want to get value from... Well, we want to make sure that we're producing enough to supply both. That needs to go to there. Yep. Nice. And that needs to go to there. It's a little bit convoluted, but that is... That is fundamentally what we've got. Right, the easier part, the far easier part, is just to get as many, as many 4s as we can. There we go. Nice. And then all we need to do, make sure everything is connected up in some nice big 4 chain. Then we can check what the stats are. Is there a... Am I missing... You know what I feel like I need to do, actually? Forgetting all of this, what we could just do is we could just split this off and then just times it. Yeah, 1,300 is obviously not what we need. But if I just have 2 inputs here, that is way easier. It does just mean that we literally only need 4s. And that is way simpler. I don't know why I didn't think of that. This game, man. This game is so good. This game is so good. So, 81. Yeah, let's get here. So that will get us nowhere near the numbers that we need. Kind of don't like what we've got going on here. I'm kind of thinking that I maybe want to work this in such a way that we go around the edge, back down here, across here, and then up. Yep. The reason being is that will allow us to expand all the way up here with as many 4s as we could possibly need. How crazy is it that we're getting 121 from literally just 4? I'm not doing the multiplication thing, am I? No, I should do the multiplication thing over here. Yeah, let's go do that. Split it into 2 little roots, and then out there, out there. Perfect. Yeah, I mean, look, if it doesn't work, we just bang down more 4s. It's so simple. Such a simple process. What are we getting? We're getting a perfectly balanced number of 11s coming in through either side. Of course we are. Yeah, that's perfect. That is absolutely perfect. I like this. This is pure. This is pure genius. Nice. Any other mathematical challenges? That's for euros. Maybe worth me taking some euros. We're not a million miles away from the stats that we need to hit, but we do need a little bit more. There we go. There we go. How's that looking? That's looking like we should be there. Also, I'm now realizing that I probably should just be focusing sort of straight on supplying one of these. Supplying both of them at the same time is unbelievably time consuming. Yeah, and unbelievably expensive. But we're doing it. We are doing it. We are doing it. And that leaves a whole bunch of space for other stuff. Right. You know what? Maybe I just want to do... Maybe I want to do something like... Maybe I want to do something with this over here. Because, I mean... We could just do... For example... 3 times 3 times 3. Can I go back in? Is that allowed? I would dearly love to go back in. Because that gets me 9. I can't go back in. I'd love to reuse that multiple times. I like the idea of just like having this bank of 3s. That is kind of cool. But I mean, we can still do this, right? There we go. And so that would be 81. And then that means all we need to do is supply 3s. I think that's way more efficient, actually, as opposed to doing the calculations myself. Whatever, just do it like that. It's fine. It's the same thing. Is that going to get me the number that I need? Maybe not. But it's okay. Yeah, I feel like just placing down one number is definitely the better way of doing things. Another question mark block. I don't really care about the question mark blocks, though. I'm just really not that bothered. I just don't care. The good news... The good news is that this is working. Well, I did need to add a few more 3s down here, but we are supplying 81s and 121s to both places, actually, which is pretty darn good. Now, currently saving my euros for this, whatever the heck this is. Very cool. 57, I think, is on the cards. Yeah, I think 57 is what we're after, and I think in an ideal world, we're able to do something with the 57 that uses maybe these numbers. These are a bit tight to access, though. Maybe these numbers, maybe these numbers, maybe the times 4, although 57, I mean 56, 7 times 8 is 56, which, so yeah, 56 divided by 4 is 14. So if we could get 14 and feed it in here, 14 would be, I guess, 3 times 4 plus 4. Is that the best? Is that the best case scenario? I tell you what. Yeah, actually. Here's what I'm currently thinking, right? We supply 14. I'm just going to put a marker here. We have 14 going in here, right? 14 times 4 is 56. We can then yoink it through this modifier here, down, out. Oops. And then that will be our 57. So that's pretty good. The real question is, what's the most efficient way to make 14? I mean, it's 7 times 2. Or, you know, 4 plus 4 plus whatever it is. I mean, I don't think there's a better way of doing it with these things here. Maybe, not even really. Not even if we run it through this. I mean, 12. 12 is 3 times 4. Okay, here's what we can do. This is breaking my brain. But we could do this. So that's 12. Plus 2. That works. That does work. So that's 14. And then we only have 2 input numbers. And that gets us 57. Nice. I feel like that's good. I don't think we can get 12 from anything more easily. It's pretty decent. And the fact that we only need 2 numbers to go into this is pretty darn great. It means that we can just throw down a whole bunch of these. I guess we're going to throw them into their own throw them onto their own little multiplication things. Probably don't need to be doing this, but it's fine. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go, and there we go. Nice. That should connect to here, but it's not. Don't know why it is not. It's fine. Whatever. Okay, that's good. That's 57. Is that going to be enough 57s? I guess we shall wait and see. I really do love these little pathways. That's so darn cool. Right. Let's hover over here. We've got 9 point, 10 point, 11.3 coming through. Is that going to be enough? I think so. It's going to be... It's so close. I mean, if we need more... I tell you what we can do, actually. We can just take this. Yep. Oops. Take this. Can I copy? Yeah, take this, copy. Paste, paste. Right, and then from there, what do I... maybe I can't do this as easily as I'd like to, because I'd like to ideally feed, like, everything into here. But this is going to be... I don't think this is going to work. Yes, then we do a multiplication. Yeah, that literally does not work. Or maybe it does. That gives me 12. Okay, I don't know how, but apparently I'm just managing to split them all. That's really weird. But that will get me the pass-through rate that I need. Well, it's great. If it works, I suppose. I don't know why. I guess... Yeah, I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea. But we have a perfectly balanced, equal rate of 3s and 4s coming through, and it seems to be working. And so, what can I say? It works. I'm happy with that. That's good. That's really, really good. Let's take this. I don't know what that did. Oh, it gives me a repeat. I see. It gives me a redo. Also, there's a increase. I guess that's an increase in rates. 2 times 2, 3 times 4, 5 times 5, 7, 7, 11 times 11. I've made that mistake before. So does that increase my $R rates? Maybe? I'm not exactly certain, to be honest. 3 times 3, 7, 7, 7, 8 is 56. 9 times 9. It's not 9 times 9, it's 9 times 11, but whatever. And then up here, we got 2 times 3, 4 times 4. Again, I really don't like how it says A times B. I think that's really, really misleading. It should be not that. Right. Another blocked off area. Well, they're not bad, you know, these blocked off areas. I guess we do blocked off area here, because then we're in proximity to that node. 2 million for the next one. Okay. Do I want to go for the upgrades? Oh, man, look at this. Up to 139, 129, and 76. These are some killer flippin'... These are some killer questions. God, it's looking so good, though. It's looking so darned good. I absolutely love it. Let's take -2. It's not really that worthwhile. I'll take another upgrade in the D factor. I'll take an upgrade in... I don't really care about another multiplier, to be honest with you. Yeah, I'm not that bothered. I am just super impressed with this game. It's so great. I just love it. I want to expand more. I want to play more. But alas, we're going to have to wrap things up right about now. Node Math, ladies and gents. Go and check it out down in the description below. I mean, it's 2 thumbs up for me. I think this is super fun. I love these sort of like additional areas that give you access to the multiplication and additions without sort of additional spawns. I think it's so darn cool. This is such a great game, and the fact that you've got negative numbers as well and a whole bunch of other sort of like objectives, islands, etc. There's a lot of content here. There is a lot of content here, and the game is like $6 or $7 on Steam, so it's pretty darn good deal. The math stacks up, put it that way. Anyway, folks, thank you ever so much for watching. I've been Orbital Potato. I'll catch you next time. Bye.